What is up, YouTube? Dottz Gaming here with the third part of my Unholy guide. So the first part covered my stats, glyphs, talents, and gearing. The second part covered macros. So this third part is going to cover a general rotation and abilities. I'm going to show you guys the burst rotation, but I'm also going to talk about what the rot rotation looks like. So it's pretty simple, honestly. You just want to get your diseases up on all your targets and get your ghoul to 5 shadow infusion stacks, pop dark transformation, and burst with pooled runic power for Breath of Sintragosa. You can burst without the shadow infusion stacks, but optimally you want to burst with them because that's 20% extra damage on all your stuff. There's a little bit of a build up because you need to get to the 5 stacks and then pull the runic power, so it takes a little while, but your burst is absolutely gigantic. The Necro Blight's playstyle has less setup but a lower burst, and I'll talk about that after I show you guys what this one looks like. But you obviously still want to be spreading your diseases around even though you do not have Necrotic Plague. You know, you still want some spread pressure going on. So we walk in, Outbreak, spread it around with Blood Boil, and we go to town. So you want to be trying to generate your shadow infusion stacks. So we're at 3 stacks, 4 stacks, that's 5 stacks. So we're going to start pooling runic power. We're at 50. And now, you know what? 70 is definitely really good. So we're going to pop and burst. Pop the power rune weapon. It's a free death coil, so I'm going to toss that in there. Plague Leech to get more runes back for another free death coil. Look how long this is going. Like, it lasts really, really long. And honestly, I probably could have made it last even longer there. But your burst is just huge. Like, it's a really, really, really good in this spec. Like I said, I could have probably made that last longer, but I was a little bit sloppy with that there. But still, as you guys saw, the burst is really, really big. For Necro Blight, when you want to burst, basically what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your Necrotic Plague is at 15 stacks on your bursting target. You're going to get to 5 stacks of Shadow Infusion, pop your Dark Transformation, pop your Gargoyle, and then burst. You know, it's a lot less setup, but it requires more maintenance because, you know, you got to try to keep your Necrotic Plague up at 15 stacks for as long as possible. You don't want that duration fading off. Some other general stuff really quick. Do not forget that when your ghoul is big, you can click Huddle to make him take 50% less damage for 10 seconds, and it doesn't cost anything. Like, your ghoul's not just gonna, you know, stop moving, and like, it's just boom, 50% damage reduction, but that's only while he's in the big form. Also, do not forget that your Dark Transformation leap turns into a ranged interrupt. It's essentially a ranged interrupt because you're based on the location of your pet, and your pet charges to the enemy. So keep that in mind. It's very, very, very strong when used in the right hands. Your Soul Reaper can be used at targets below 45% health, not 35%. So you're going to be Soul Reapering more as Unholy. So you're going to still want to pre-Soul Reaper a lot, you know, when they're at like 50%, 55%, and then always when they're below 45%. Because Soul Reaper is going to hit harder as Unholy because Unholy has higher mastery than Frost does. So you really want to be tossing in Soul Reaper and get those big Soul Reaper damage on your target. Also, do not forget to throw Icy Touch in on your rotation because it will turn your Frost runes to Death runes, Dispel, and especially, honestly, if you play the Necro Blight playstyle, I actually recommend using Icy Touch as your main like disease builder instead of using Plague Strike, because you're turning your Frost runes to Death runes, you're stacking that up, and you are dispelling at the same time. I mean, obviously, if there's nothing to dispel and you have both death runes, and use something else, but definitely a good idea to use it, because usually when I play Necroblade, I'll toss most of my Unholy runes into Scourge Strike. I found it to be really effective. The spam purge is pretty broken, especially against druids. So basically, you're gonna want to, again, choose your playstyle based on the comp. If you have a team that has really high mobility, you're not going to be wanting to run this breath playstyle, because they're just going to get out of your breath and it's going to be a huge waste. You're going to want to run Necroblade there. But if they have less mobile target, you're going to want to run Breath of Sindragosa, because you'll basically wipe somebody off the face of the arena, and it's pretty damn awesome. Again, Dark Sim, think about it when you use it. You know, if you stun the mage, chances are he's going to blink. Dark Sim. If you're bursting really hard on a priest, chances are pain suppression. You know, when the warlock first gets out into the arena, chances are he's going to cast Dark Soul pretty quickly after he gets out there. You know, Dark Sim can be your most powerful ability if used correctly. You know, you want to be Dark Simming CCs a lot, but again, you could also Dark Sim those abilities I just mentioned. So, I mean, I pretty much think that will cover it. The one last thing I want to throw in, because I'm looking at my abilities and I just remembered, is if you do decide to run Blood Tap, which you will be for the Necroblade build, and you can for the Sindragosa build if you want to, you're casting Death Coil on your pet, regardless of what the Glyph tooltip says, it still gives you a Blood Tap charge. The tooltip for the Glyph is just wrong. I've tested it out. It does give you a Blood Tap charge, so just keep that in mind. And that will pretty much cover it, guys. I hope the video series was helpful to you. If you liked it, please check out my other guides on DW Frost and 2H Frost, and check out all the other videos on my channel. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And again, I really hope this helps you. Thank you for tuning in and watching. I'm Dottz Gaming, guys. Have a good day.